to this rainy, what day is it? Thursday day. Oh my gosh, the rain is back, but that's what happens in May. April showers bring May flowers. And here we are. We are about to launch my next 6-week challenge right around the corner. So we've been getting a stream of people watching. Hi, Mara. Good morning. And a lot of people are getting interested in wanting to get some more information. And guess what? I'm recording a webinar today that is going to be packed filled with all the information that you need to join our next challenge. But what I want to talk to you about today is dealing with fear and dealing with difficult situations. Okay, so why do I want to talk about that today? Let me just position my camera. I've got my beautiful brick wall behind me that I think is the best backdrop I can offer you right now. So there we go. This is what happens when we do videos out of our home. So good morning, Krista. Here's the thing. We want to talk today about panicking, not to panic when there are difficult situations that come up in your life. Typically, we get that fearful response. Good morning, Sam. When we are faced with a problem and then all of a sudden, whoosh, our body just fills up with fear and we don't know how to handle the situation. Our first instinct is to retreat. Our first instinct is to shut everything down. We get overwhelmed and we don't understand how to process, how to think, what to do. So we tend to act very quickly about things. And of course, you know that this is not the right approach. You cannot make decisions based on an emotional response. You have to be logical in dealing with your business, your health, your family, your relationships, no matter what hits the table. So, you know, I've been faced with a lot of challenges my entire life. Over the last couple of years, you know, I went through a whole year with the separation of my family and going to court for my son. And I spent an entire year dealing with court cases and lawyers and back and forth nonsense. I've dealt with situations, you know, with the city and trying to operate my business out of my home. I've dealt with, you know, a holy shitstorm that hit my studio and almost knocked me completely down. And last night, again, I am faced with a challenge. So I run my business out of my home, and I do so because it's the best way for me to operate my business. I am a single mom. I am the only breadwinner in my house. I am trying to raise enough money to support my son. And I have some neighbors in my neighborhood that aren't happy that I run my business out of my home, and they like to call the city on me. So there's a city car sitting outside my door yesterday. And of course, my first instinct is panic mode, right? Like, oh my God, the city is here. And then the next reaction is anger, right? You're angry at your neighbors. You're frustrated. You're saying, hey, come on, I'm just trying to make a living for my son. Like, is parking in front of my house like really that big of a deal? Like, seriously, at the end of the day, is it really that big of a deal? And hey, have you ever thought that maybe I can actually help you? That the good that is happening here in my studio and with the people that are coming to train here, do you think I can actually help you and serve you instead of being this annoying person that you're living next to? But all to say that, you know, you go to bed and you're lying there and you get struck by fear. You're saying, what if that happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? And then all of a sudden, we tend to make the problem huge and we make the mountain really big and we start running to all of the worst case scenarios. And the first thing you really need to do is step back. All of a sudden, like, you're looking at all these trees around you and you can barely even see the sky because you see all these trees around you, and you have to step back so you can see the forest from the trees. So walk right out of everything and see the forest. You have to see the big, big picture. You have to take a breath, right? You have to take a breath, and you have to first start with all the amazing, amazing things that you have in your life right now. You have to tap into those amazing things that are in your life right now. And so for me, I am instantly went back to the people who are surrounding me right now. They're just filling my newsfeed, my message box, my personal challenge page with positivity, with support. We're here for you. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. We're going to be there for you through thick and thin. And you have to first, yes, I'm a single mom. I'm by myself, but I've got this world of people who are surrounding me saying, don't worry, Cher, it's going to be okay. And that allows me to say, don't worry, Cher, it's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out. And then you have to, after you finish breathing, for me, I exercise. I was up at 4 a.m. this morning on my spin bike, no education this morning, just motivational videos that, I listen to people who inspire me. So in order to be inspiring, you have to be inspired. And therefore, I listen to people who inspire me. And this morning, I'm listening to The Rock, right? Dwayne Johnson. I'm listening to Muhammad Ali. And you're listening to their stories, and you're listening to the strength and the discipline that they have, no matter what. Again, they follow up. They have their morning routines. They crush it with their morning routines. They get their exercise on. They start, attacking their day with the right mindset. So I could have rolled out of bed this morning. I could have felt sorry for myself. I could have, just, oh God, everything's falling apart. I could have taken that attitude. Instead, you get up. I get on my spin bike, and I'm listening to the music, and I'm listening to The Rock, and I'm listening to Muhammad Ali, and I'm going, right? And it's like the wheels are going in my head. I'm like, okay, how do we figure this out? How do we make it work? How do we adjust? How do we auto correct? And then once you get in the right mental state, you're feeling positive, you're feeling like you can come up with a solution, you're feeling confident because you've been working with people who've, pump you up. You're like, okay, I'm pumped. I'm ready to take on that match. Let's go. So you take on the match and you say, okay, let's figure out the worst case scenario. Let's just think about what's the possible worst thing. So I went through those series of things in my mind, and some of those worst case scenarios are not an option for me. It's non-negotiable. It's like that won't happen, because there are things that we should do in life, and there are things that we must do in life. And if there are things that are really important to you and you must do them, then you will create the must. And that's where your mindset is going to be focused on. You're going to follow the musts. So I started from not the worst case scenario. I started from the must case scenario. And then I started implementing all of the different strategies of how to get around this and how to process this problem in a positive, logical, non-emotional state of mind, right? And then you get to your best case scenario. And you're saying to yourself, well, in the best case scenario, maybe this is going to work out to be a good thing, because best case, this is where I could be. And if being forced to interrupt a certain pattern right now because external environments are making me or forcing me to do a shift, then what's the best case scenario of where that load could lead me, instead of, okay, well, this is like the shithole, right? This is where this is going to happen. And then everything's crap and everything's falling apart. And why is this always happening to me? And I'm a good person. Why does all this stuff happen to me? Right? So you don't go there because it doesn't serve you. That philosophy doesn't serve you. It just puts you in the muck, and it keeps you in the muck. And there's no growth to muck. And you have to decide, how much muck do you want to live in all the time? I tell my son all the time, you have a choice every day. Every day you could choose to be miserable and your day is going to be very long and it's going to be miserable. Or you can choose to be positive no matter what's happening, and your day, regardless, is still going to be positive, motivational, and uplifting one way or the other. Which way do you want it to be today? Which way do you want that for yourself today? Because it's a choice. And there's something I say in my challenge all the time, sink or swim. Make the choice. Get up in the morning and sink or swim. There is no other option. You either go all in or you go all out. What's it going to be for you today? And every now and again, it's rare, but it happens. I have a pajama Netflix day, right? Where you're like, okay, it's Sunday, it's raining, Netflix time, popcorn time, Zevia time. I'm sitting on pajamas, not getting dressed. That's what's going to happen today. But 90% of the time, it's stealth mode, you know? So in the words of Les Brown, in challenging situations, you're either coming out of one, you're either in one, or you're headed towards one. But if you can fall and you can fall down on your back so that you can look up, then you can get up. And if you can get up, then you can attack that problem and you can overcome it. And you'll attack the next problem and you'll attack the next problem and you'll attack the next one. And that's the definition of successful people. Because if you sit in envy, people like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Muhammad Ali, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jennifer Lopez, you know, if you're sitting back and you're resentful because they got all this money, they have all this fame, and they're like, everything's easy for them. They have a chef, they have a personal trainer, they have nannies, they have, look at them, they're living all the fancy life. You don't think that they didn't work bloody hard to get there. They killed it. They killed it. They killed it. They killed it. And with a little sprinkle of magic and a little sprinkle of luck and a whole truckload of hard work, they wake up one day and they're living the life they've always worked so hard to achieve. And that's what I do. One day I'm going to hit that place where I want to be. And it didn't come without that blood, sweat, and tears, without rolling up your sleeves, getting in there, and facing every challenge as it comes. So I hope, guys, that this was helpful for you today. I work hard. I want to inspire you guys to work hard. I want you to make your health and your life non-negotiable. And what that means is do not settle for less. Just always keep working hard to be the very best that you can be. You're not always going to succeed. Sometimes you're going to slip. Sometimes you're going to fall. But so long as you work hard every day to be the very best you can be, that's not a fail. That's a victory to me. So have yourselves an amazing day. Love you guys. We'll see you again really soon. And just ask me for that webinar link if you want to know more about my 6-week challenge starting again now, May 12th. All right, guys. Bye for now.